Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with Big Mark. Today, sheet pan cuisine.
You know, this is something new. I never. I'm sure it's been around, and other people seem to be familiar with it. But I wasn't. I mean, I'm familiar with cooking on sheet pans, obviously, having been in the business for all the years. But it was I just
Catering business, not mafia, just in case people are confused.
The what?
I said catering business, not the mafia.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, absolutely. At any rate, it was a new process to me, and I thought it sort of made a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's easy to do. There are certain things you can't do with it. You can't do pastas and things that are braised and all that kind of thing, but you can certainly do almost a myriad of other things with it. And if you take the little half sheet pan, a quarter sheet pan, and you put parchment paper or foil on it, when you're through, you just take it off and it's all clean. It just eliminates a pot of pans. A lot of the preparations need a little bit of prep time, but it used to be like 5 or 10 minutes. It can be done ahead of time. And then, put off to one side. And I think especially in the summertime now, when people end up, big at beach houses or homes or where they're having, guests over outside. This is a great meal to do, if not the whole meal, but you can do even certainly parts of a meal that makes it easier to serve and clean up and to deal with. The whole secret of it really is, looking at the size of the protein that you're doing. The protein is what it is. And the thickness of fish is much more prevalent than, chicken, of course, is ubiquitously in almost every menu. But pork, and there's one where they do steaks and a potato on it. And the way they did that was they took the potato, cut it in little small batons, tossed it with salt, pepper, and a little garlic powder and oil, and then roasted that separately at 400 for about 20, 25 minutes. Then they just took the steaks that they had, and they left a spot in the pan open for it, laid the steaks, patted them dry, laid them on it, salt and pepper, and then turned the broiler on and broiled the steaks for, 4 to 5, 6, 7 minutes on each side, depending on the size. And they talk about, 1 inch, but again, with your handy thermometer, you get into 125, 130, you know where you are, medium rare. And the browning out of crisps up the potatoes. You take it out, and there's that whole dinner. And I didn't think steak would be done, but that's similar to what we were talking about, that reverse pan searing. This is almost another application of that same process. Mm-hmm. But the thing you do with sauces and vegetables, for example, those who have vegan people that would be part of the group, you can just take a crimp in the tin foil that's separated and make a little wall, and do your vegan on one side and keep the protein that other meat uses that might mix in contained on the other side. So it can be a combination to serve both purposes. The other thing, as far as flavorings go and seasonings, it's up to your imagination. You can use any kind of salad dressing, any kinds of the myriads of sauces that are available now. The sauces, Asian sauces, all the different combinations of sweet, salt, and sour that you get any kind of combination of. All the Asian sauces that are myriads of them. Using miso, and all you do is coat your things. You make honey mustard, seasoned butters. The only thing you want to do is, again, on the vegetables, you may have to, for example, if you're using potatoes, cut those in small pieces than you would, say, green beans or asparagus, because they're going to take longer to cook in big form. And you have any big pieces, you sort of want to keep those on the outside of the pan and put the smaller pieces in the middle. You want to be careful not to crowd up or pile it up, because the whole idea is getting exposed to as much heat as possible. And you might, in some cases, rotate the pan halfway through. And if you got a pile of veggies in there that you toss with olive oil before you put them on, and other seasoning, herbs, again, you can sometimes flip those with a spatula just to give them a little turn, maybe brown, and on both sides. I wouldn't touch the chickens at all unless the recipe calls for it. So size matters, matters on the timing. You can also do things like quesadillas and flatbreads and pizza the same way. You spread it out the whole length of the pan and put all kinds of toppings, whatever you want on it. And it's just, as I say, it's something to me that just becomes so easy to do. And even if you have a small group you're doing it, and you have a little room on the tray, you even take a little piece of puff paste or pizza dough and put it on a little mascarpone flavored with sugar or syrup and fruit, and then bake a fruit tart at the same time you're doing the rest of the dinner. So it offers a lot of flexibility, and I think for anybody, go online. I'm not going to give you a lot of recipes for it because there's just thousands of them online. And one of the better ones is this gal called the Pioneer Woman. Her name is Reese Drummond, I think, in Texas. A lot of you might see her food shows. Anyway, she is a list of 50, and she does a very good job of explaining how to do it and presenting it. So I would recommend her site. Anyway, it's a new way to cook and clean up and do it very effortlessly, and it's unique and different, and probably fun and easy. And so have a go at it.
Yeah, it's a great way to cook. I was doing mushrooms, a mix of mushrooms last night that way, and they came out fantastically. And just actually was roasting garlic in a different pan at the same time. Take advantage.
Well, there's so many prepared things now. I mean, all the supermarkets, have all these cut vegetables. I mean, if someone's got some imagination and the ability to pull it through, these things can all be prepared in about 4 or 5 minutes by buying a Thai sauce, or peanut sauce, for example, and tossing it, or a curry sauce, or chili sauce, these Thai things. It's all out there. It's just a matter of getting it, assembling it, throwing it together, and boom, in the oven.
And on your sheet pan. All right. Well, we're thinking of summer eats, so to speak. I think we've done Gruner before, but one of my perennial favorites. This is from domain Wachau, in the Wachau. So we're talking west of Vienna, and producers in this area, after the big scandal about adding the antifreeze to the sweet wines, and I think Burgenland, they doubled down on quality controls, as one would have to. But this is considered Federspiel, which is sort of the mid-weight wine from the Wachau. They have 3 categories: the Steinfeder, the Federspiel, and then the Smaragd. And they're all named after sort of elements of the landscape. So the Steinfeder is a grass. The Federspiel is a falcon connection, and then the Smaragd is a reference to this really lovely lizard that is native to that area, and you would actually find in the vineyards. And you can see he's right here, very handsome little guy. That's the Smaragd, and the Smaragd would be the highest alcohol content. So give this guy a little swish. There's a really lovely nose here. You're going to get some mineral austerity in the wine itself, but there's a lot of tropical fruit on the nose. That's so good. Great acidity. It's got some weight like Chardonnay, as I think I mentioned last time we were tasting Gruner, but it's almost done in stainless steel, so it's very clean, even though it does have some heft to it. And you're getting some tropical fruit, you're getting some preserved lemon, and even a little bit of that lentil quality, which you often get from the high quality Gruner. And it varies. And Wachau is would be like the Bordeaux of Austria in terms of quality, or Burgundy. Whereas a lot of the Gruner, you remember when you were in Austria, Dad, those little little wine bars
Oh, yeah, Grunzing, they call the wine hooligans.
around Vienna, and that that would be Austria's version essentially of the Beaujolais Nouveau. I mean, it's the Gruner. It's barely off the vine before it's in the glass, but that would be the other the other end of the spectrum. Whereas quality Gruner that's made in a judicious manner could last up to 20 years. So
That was a section of Vienna called Grunzing. And they call the wine hooligans, young wine houses. They used to hang a little
yeah,
bush.
exactly. That they're all serving Gruner.
Yeah, well, but it's actually in those places when I was there many years ago, it was served in beer mugs, not wine glasses.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It was young wine, and they served it, in a beer mug. And it goes down very easily, and it crawls up quickly. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's how it does. In any case, you got a little frozen for a minute, Dad. So I apologize to the viewers for that. That's Zoom, not us. We insist on a very high production value here. And this has been Cooking with Big Mark, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.